Hello class. Hope you have understood our last lecture on heart tube and heart loop. Any of the student who could revise the major events of our last video so that we can continue our topic?
Yes, ma'am. If we have a cross-sectional view, this is ectoderm, this is mesoderm, and this is endoderm. In the lateral plate of mesoderm has some changes. It forms other layer called as angioblast. That will form the heart tube. That will be explained later. And inner area called as hemocytoblast. Then there is the embryonic folding. Now, a totally new structure is formed. This is pericardial cavity. And this is endocardial tube or heart tube.
Any other student who can continue the topic and explain the looping and folding of heart?
Yes, ma'am. Heart tube has 3 layers: endocardium, myocardium, and cardiac jelly. Then, ma'am, from this cross-sectional view, if we move out the heart tube, there are many parts of heart tube. This is truncus arteriosus. This is bulbus cordis. This is primitive ventricle. This is primitive atrium. This is sinus venosus. This is heart tube at day 22. This heart tube develops 2 bulges. The cranial bulge is called the bulbus cordis, and the caudal one is the primitive ventricle. Bulbus cordis will bend in this direction, while primitive ventricle will move into opposite direction. The heart tube begins to bend at day 23 and stops at day 28. Now, this is heart tube. At day 29, you can see the junction between the bulbus cordis and ventricle by the presence of the bulb ventricular sulcus. Now, this is truncus arteriosus. This is bulbus cordis. This is ventricle, and this is left atrium.
We had also discussed the structure and fate of sinus venosus. Sinus venosus has left sinus horn and right sinus horn. As you can see, each horn has further 3 extensions. So, these horns are formed by the major embryonic veins, such as right sinus horn has anterior cardinal vein, umbilical vein, and vitelline vein. Similarly, left side sinus horn has posterior cardinal vein, umbilical vein, and vitelline vein. You can memorize it as cava, C for cardinal vein, U for umbilical vein, and V for vitelline vein. The left sinus horn becomes smaller and less significant. This is anterior cardinal vein, and this is vitelline vein. Now, as we have discussed that the left sinus horn becomes smaller and less significant, the next step is that left sinus horn eventually forming the coronary sinus and draining the coronary veins into the right atrium. The right sinus horn persists, enlarges. Anterior cardinal vein becomes superior vena cava, and right vitelline vein becomes inferior vena cava. So, this was all class. Key points have been revised, and this could help you to understand out upcoming videos of cardiac series. So, in our next video, we will talk about the endocardial cushions and valves of the heart.
Upgrade your medical education with sqadia.com, the ultimate online video platform tailored for medical students and professionals.